So, yet another cool one to show off. I think I say that they're all cool. I guess if they weren't cool, I wouldn't build them. So, you might just have to deal with it. If you watch a lot of my videos, I probably say a lot of the same stuff. But just note that each one of these is intended for the person getting the watch as if they've never had a watch from me before, right? So I'm going to say like the same shit for like the final 4 minutes. But anyway, we have a really cool radioactive build here. I had custom painted this dial a while back. It's a brass dial, so you can see that with the accents. So I painted it in this nice orange color that had kind of a flake into it, and then sanded it down. And I've sat on this dial for a long time, and I talked to my Cerakote guy, and he goes, just send it my way. Let me look at it in person, because you know how pictures work. So this is a Cerakote we've done before on a Kraken. We've only done this Cerakote twice. I did it on Krakenberg where the case was, this is called Pumpkin Spice. It is an orange color, Cerakote. But we did one where the case was this way and the bezel was in cypress, which is kind of like a, I don't want to say brown silver, but it's like a brownish silver, if that makes any kind of sense. And then we reversed it, where this was pumpkin spice, and it was like that. And I did both watches at the same time. I think it was around build 400 or 500, so like 200 to 300 builds ago. So you've got pumpkin spice. It's this nice looking orange color. It is done here, and it is done here. Then the rest of the watch is done in antique brass, which is something that you'll see from my builds often. It's just a nice light brown color. So the bezel's done that way, the crown's done that way, and the SS band outside of the clasp. I did a gilded handset, and then I did a nice bright orange long lume seconds hand. We've got the Biohazard logo here. I'm sorry, the Radioactive logo. Biohazard was the one I just showed off. And then Radioactive written here, which the glare that comes into this room is intense. I'm trying to show you. Hey, there you can see it. Radioactive. The sun is weird these days. Like, it's a lot of overcast most of the time here. And then the way it comes through my window, it's just at a different level. It's like more like straight out my window than up above in the air shining down in. And it is terrible most days. So I had sun in here bright as hell, and now it's just all clouds. I couldn't tell you where the sun is to save my life. It all looks exactly the same. So that's the build in a nutshell. So dual Cerakote. Bezel will turn left, bezel will turn right. It is a tension ring bezel. I put it on a little bit tighter with some dental floss and bent the tension ring out a little bit, so makes a little bit harder contact, a little bit more friction. Plus the Cerakote aids in that as well, because it makes the tolerances a little bit tighter. So automatic mechanical. I didn't go over the case back. Did a gilded rotor in here. One of my original gilded rotors, before I put my logo on there, I just did my signature. Which can we actually, with so signature on there. So I happen to have this rotor sitting off to the side. It was in a box. After that, I did my circle logo on these. And I had this in a box, and I was running out of rotors, and I thought, I came across it, just putting away a bunch of stuff. It's like, that's very cool. I'm going to put that on something awesome. So you're getting that one. If it's going to you, congrats. Low profile exhibition case back, and then a stainless steel movement holder in there versus the plastic that the donor watch comes in. So that's how that's set up. Automatic mechanical, so you can wind it, you can wear it, you can put it in a watch winder. But if it's dead, or you're not going to be very active, don't just throw it on your wrist and wear it, walk around. You set the time and put it on your wrist. Make sure you wind it just a little bit. How you do that is you back the crown off the threads until you hear it clicking. At that point, you can wind. And a wind is a turn that way. Turning it this way doesn't do anything, but it's a lot easier to keep your fingers pacing and go back and forth. So if you do this for 4 or 5 seconds before you put it on, you'll keep time. that mixed with your movement. And if you do it for something closer to 20 seconds, you're going to max out your 31 plus hour power reserve on it. You cannot overwind it, so don't worry about it. When you're happy with how much you've wound, pull it to the one and only click. You can now set your time. It does not have a hacking movement, so it's going to keep going. And it also has a wobble crown, basically a little ball joint there at the end of the stem. That's deflecting lateral pressure from going into the stem and into the movement when you're pushing and prying on this. So if you just pull it straight, you won't even feel it. But if you do push on a little bit, it's not going to bend the stem. It's not going to put pressure on the movement. So, okay, Google, what time is it?
It's 2:55 p.m.
2:55 p.m. I got a lot of shit to mail today. When you're good, push it over and get it out of that time setting. And then screw it down. So there is the build. If you look at it pretty much straight on, you can barely see the orange there. And the way that the orange tone is, it flows with it nicely. Just like in the dial. You can tell that the accents are different, but they kind of look orange right here, right? They're orange, but they're not. This is brass. So flow with each other. It's a very subtle color shift there. When you really get into the light, you can see that it's different. So if this is going to you, congrats. See? Just a subtle color. I mean, you can definitely tell there without hitting the light that it's like that. But with that kind of straight up and on, like that arguably is the same color right there. I mean, I can tell that it's orange, but if you just looked at that right there, just depends on the light. So it's a nice blend, but it has a nice pop of color once you hit that light and you get that dial in the light and you can actually read everything on there. So, but yeah, so if it's going to you, congrats. Thank you for your support. I appreciate you a ton. But this should be in a winner's choice waffle that I will probably have on Saturday while I'm out of town and ship it on Monday. So if it's going to you, congrats. I hope you love it. I love that pumpkin spice orange color. I'm a big fan of orange. So if it's going to you, congrats. As with every bow, they come with matching beads, entirely up to you whether you wear them or not, but they match and they're kick-ass, so do it. Just wear them. Don't be weird. It's weird if you don't wear them. Wear them on your other wrist. These are glass beads. They're made to not hurt that. But this is cerakote, so it's like your car paint. It's put on there and it's baked on there. So if you wouldn't rub your car up against a wall, don't do it with the watch because the same thing's going to happen. You're going to scratch it. You're going to take it down to the black that's underneath it or down to the silver that's the original coating. So these are bead blasted black cerakote, then the cerakote that we want and baked. So black, baked, cerakote that we want, baked. So under this is black and then below that is regular. So sometimes we can get away from the black. It just depends on if we need the black for a collar pop. And I don't think on antique brass we need that. The spice, I think we might. Just depends. I can't remember. All the color shifts have a black base. So, but yeah, if you wouldn't do it with your car, don't do it with your watch. So don't rub it on bricks, you know. But these are glass beads, so it's not going to hurt it. But if you want to wear it opposite wrist, like I wear a gold over here, you know, and I do beads with that over here. If you don't want to do it, or the spouse wants to wear it, great to match. But it will be there with it. Matching box. And then every bow comes with watch cleaners. This is good on all glass metal parts of this watch as a whole. Non-streaking, non-toxic, non-residue. And then some Novus too. This is a scratch remover for your acrylic glass because you can scratch that. And if you do, you can buff it right out. Just put a little bit of this on there. It's like poly watch. And then buff against it using your included microfiber. Go against the scratch, filling the scratch. Don't go with it or you're removing that. And then use your thumb and buff it. And should be 20-25 seconds. You should have it buffed out. And if you didn't get it buffed out, let it kind of harden and wait a bit and then do it again. Like kind of build layers on there, right? You're just filling that scratch in there. Kind of like you're dealing with old shitty headlights that have scratches. You know, you basically sand them down. This is kind of like it's smoothing that out, bringing that up, knocking the other parts down. So that's it. So like I said, if you're getting this watch, congrats. I appreciate you. And if you want me to build you something custom unique, reach out and I'll see what I can do. And if you want to continue to see videos like this, like and subscribe as I put them up all the time. Thanks for hanging out, guys.